out of the backfield. He broke a long run. He cashed in a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Chirped at the defense about how tired they look. Look, I think Kevin Patullo will put his own spin on things in the Eagles offense, but he also knows where his bread is buttered. That offensive line, that running back, still going to be the focal point of that Eagles offense. I was in Tampa Bay earlier in the week where it hit 100 degrees for the first time in the history of Tampa. It was exciting history to be a part of. They are very excited about Emeka Egbuka. This came up earlier in the hour when Dan brought him up. He is their rookie that they drafted in the first round, even though they ostensibly don't really need help at the position of wide receiver. They love everything about him. Everybody I talked to gave me a specific thing that he does that reminds them of a 4 or 5 year veteran. And everyone who told me it was a different thing. This guy's going to be a real player. I got to meet him. He seems like a really special kid, and everything that I've been told about him in the pre-draft process backed that up as well. Washington Commanders camp, there's Terry McLaurin. You'll notice that he's not in uniform or pads as the rest of the team was that day. He is not practicing. He's there talking to his agent. They're in a contract dispute. Practice I watched, he wasn't there. Noah Brown wasn't there. It's a lot of Jayden Daniels throwing short stuff to Zach Ertz and Deebo Samuel. And if Terry McLaurin has leverage in this contract dispute, it is probably there where he looks at the offense and goes, what are you going to do without?
Okay, well, let's speak about an offense that has some real questions, and that is in Cleveland.
Oh, I wanted to go.
I know you did. Rookie quarterback.
Honestly, Shedeur has the power.
I don't know if I have the levers here. I've got many executives in my ear. Talk Shedeur! Talk Shedeur! Talk Shedeur! So we will. Shedeur Sanders was held out of team drills on Saturday because of arm soreness, and that was from the team. Joe Flacco and Dillon Gabriel handled all the reps, as we know that Kenny Pickett is still dealing with that hamstring injury. The Browns have had 9 practices since camp opened, and Shedeur, despite throwing for the 3rd most attempts, July stats, has put up the best numbers for whatever that is worth. Best completion percentage at 70% and the most touchdowns thrown. We say that kiddingly, but there is something to it that he's not on the field. Dano, who do you think should be the Browns starting quarterback week 1?
One of the rookies. Either Dillon Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders should be their starting quarterback. Joe Flacco, unbelievable career, and Kenny Pickett, they're going to get you 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 wins, maybe. I know that. I know that what we have in those guys. 2 first-round picks in 2026. I want to see if one of these rookies is lightning in a bottle. I want to see if one of these guys makes us go, whoa, 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 whoa. We have a starting quarterback here, and we don't have to use one of those first-round picks of 2026 to go get one of those quarterbacks. We're going to be really good with one of these guys, and let's continue to build this roster. It would be one of those rookies for me if I was Cleveland.
Peter, we talked a lot about one of the worst parts about the job, which is paying players and the disagreements and all that. Cutting players is by far the worst. The best part about the job is it is the ultimate meritocracy. It's everything that's great about our country relative to let the best players play. These guys know what they weren't first-round picks. And let Shedeur Sanders go out there and compete. Those statistics, I know it's July, but Tom Brady is his mentor. You can see all over social media that how did Tom Brady get through the day when he was the 8th string at Michigan? Hey, if I got 2 reps, they were the best 2 reps. And you stack one good day on top of the next. There's a lot of noise around Shedeur around the draft. Whether it's fair or unfair, it's ancient history. And if I was the GM of the Browns, I would look him and Dillon Gabriel in the eye and say, hey, your job is to make my job easy, which is to say at the end of the 2025 season, we have a quarterback. We have 2 first-round picks, and we don't need a quarterback. And go earn it each and every day. And if I'm the Browns, I play the best player, and there's no reason it can't be one of those rookies, and in my opinion, it'd be Shedeur.
RC, do you agree?
Well, yeah, I agree, but it don't really seem like they care. I like the conversations around Shedeur Sanders have absolutely gotten to a point to where it's just laughable, right? When the owner comes out and basically says, shoot, I ain't want him. Andrew Berry had to draft him.
You were not going to draft him.
Yeah, I think it's now it's
Code red.
Yeah, okay, so we've gotten to this point to where we're saying, as an owner, we didn't even really want him on the team, and now you're going to ask Kevin Stefanski to push him to the front of the line so you can see what you have in him, because we all believe that he has starter quality. It doesn't seem that the Cleveland Browns see Shedeur Sanders that way, and a lot of times when you draft a guy in the 3rd round or you draft a guy in the 5th round, when you're talking about Dillon Gabriel or Shedeur, you sort of said to yourself, we gave up this early pick because we know what next year's draft is going to be like.
Yeah.
And even if one of these guys are good enough, will they be better, more tantalizing, have more potential than someone who could be in the top 5 next year, someone who could be in the top 4, the top 3? It feels to me that the Cleveland Browns have actually punted on finding a franchise quarterback. And I think that's sad because if you could see that in one of these two young men, now you have 2 first-round picks next year to make your entire team better.
But RC, just imagine though, guys, if you have a quarterback and you have a top 5 pick.
Sure.
Imagine what you could get in next year's draft with that.
Those are 3rd and 5th round picks. It's not like a top 10 pick we're waiting on here.
If you look at the chronology of the Browns offseason, before they got any of these other guys, they got Kenny Pickett. They made a trade to get Kenny Pickett when they did not know that Joe Flacco was going to come back, and they did not know who, if anyone, they were going to draft at quarterback in the draft. So they believe Kenny Pickett, who was a first-round pick a couple of years ago, who was the backup quarterback on a Super Bowl championship team last year, they wanted to take a look at that and see if they could make something out of it. They went and got him. Everything else sort of came to them. I get, Mike T, you're shaking your head. It shouldn't matter. But you'd also know that it kind of does.
Right.
If they really want to take a look at Kenny Pickett, they're going to take a look at Kenny Pickett. What I'm saying is this. Shedeur Sanders is currently 4th on the depth chart at quarterback in Cleveland. His arm hurts and he's not practicing. He hit the obstacles to get from where he is to starting quarterback are significant.
And I'm gonna be honest,
and I don't think he overcomes them in a month.
His arm actually can't hurt. Right, like he,
No.
where he is, where he is, if he's trying to play, he can't miss reps because his arm is.
I agree.
Not every 5th round pick makes the team.
Correct.
And so if you're Cleveland, you're sitting there in the 5th round, you're going, all right, fine, we got one more pick. Let's just
Number one player in all of football in jerseys sold this summer.
Yeah.
Wait, one thing.
Does that, I mean,
help you make the team?
This is not every
I don't
5th
know.
round pick.
Yeah, the reason
get
I
it.
was pushing back is this. On Kenny Pickett, there is an axiom that front offices consider, which is 3 teams in 3 years is always a red flag. And when you look at the head coaches that have moved on from Kenny Pickett and Mike Tomlin and Nick Sirianni, I'd be a little concerned.
But Mike T, they're going to move on from Kenny Pickett. But if you're Kevin Stefanski, who's been the coach of the year, you can say, you know what, I can make a quarterback play well enough to get us enough wins because we know we have 2 picks in next year's draft. We don't have to totally fall off. We don't have to rebuild. Now I can find a way to win, keep my job, and get my quarterback.
Baker Mayfield, 3 teams in 3 years?
Yes.
How about
Sam
that?
Darnold, 3 teams in 3 years?
I don't know.
It can happen. Kenny Pickett can be
Fair.
there.
Could be a rookie.
Fair.
Guys, it might be chewing bark as our sponsor, as Terry Bradshaw famously said of Mr. Rogers. Mike T, you are the man. And you had a couple of comments last week about Jordan Love. And your comment was that Jordan Love is the #1 quarterback in the NFC. It made waves on social media because there is a legion of fans supporting a legion of other quarterbacks. Make the case. Jordan Love is the best quarterback in the NFC entering the season.
Well, first of all, Peter, we're starting from a very high floor. Last year, they were 8th in points, 10 in efficiency. If you go back the year before, he was as good as anybody coming down the stretch. He got hurt on opening day last year in Brazil. But to me, it's about Matthew Golden, my favorite receiver in the draft last year, the fastest player who plays fast. And you think about Tucker Kraft, Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, Montavious Wicks. They could run the ball. And if you just take away 6 throws a season that were Brett Favre-like, he has as much talent as anybody with as many weapons. At the end of the year, this is the best quarterback in the NFC, and I know you all agree.
Okay, that's not the case because we've got the many eyebrows raised here. 2, 3, 4, 5. This is your list. Stafford's not even on it. Let's get
because that's outcome determinative. You need to practice to be eligible to be on my list.
He did not like the fact he's not practicing. Let's just go around the horn a little bit here. That's the list. It's Mike's list. He's allowed to make a list. Dan Orlovsky, your response.
Stafford's the best quarterback in the conference. He's been the best quarterback in the conference for years. Jayden Daniels being at 2, I can absolutely get on board with. Goff at 3, Hurts at 4, Baker at 5, I'm fine with. Hurts has got to be in that conversation a little bit more. There's a whole conversation attached to Jalen Hurts not like getting the credit that he's warranted with this play. I'd probably have Jordan at 6 or 7-ish. I love Jordan Love. He's remarkably talented.
Yeah.
But there's some guys there that not only have accomplished a ton, but are coming off of outstanding seasons that are going to have outstanding seasons that I just can't throw Jordan Love above it right now. Can he get there? Yes. But he hasn't warranted by the play to be put above those guys.
There's 16 in the conference.
And that's the other thing, though. It's when Mike T makes this list and puts Jordan Love at 1, you almost feel like you're caught in a bad position because you don't want to say bad things about Jordan Love. Jordan Love is a good football player.
Big fan of.
Jordan Love has made some big-time throws in big moments, but then when you look at what Jayden Daniels was able to do in Detroit last year, or what he was able to do in Tampa last year, but also too, you think about, listen, it's fourth down. And you put the football in the hands of a young rookie quarterback to run the ball, and you don't block the guy that's over the guard in the A-gap, and he makes a play. You can't say that Jordan Love has done something akin to that. You're talking about a team in the Green Bay Packers that were 1-5 in their division. That with an opportunity to win in the divisional round 2 years ago, don't get to the NFC Championship and your quarterback throws second half interceptions. Same thing against Philadelphia. You look at Baker Mayfield and what he's become. It's actually disrespectful to say that Jordan Love is over Baker Mayfield and what we've seen from him in the last 2 years. Jared Goff?
I got to get Mike T's response.
I'm sorry. Jared Goff's taken 2 places to the NFC title game. Jayden Daniels just went to the NFC title game.
Stand up, Mike T. This is your segment. You are the man, not them. You're the man. What do you got?
Dan, you want to
I'm just to pile on. Brock Purdy's been to 2 NFC Championship games and a Super Bowl in his first 3 years. I have no problem with this list if what you are telling me is it's a prediction. If I'm going to say at the end of the year, this is what it's going to look like.
I like that.
That's a fine prediction.
And that's
based on what these guys have accomplished so far in their careers, I don't see how you.
That's how I see it this year. This is how I rank him this year. And again, it matters to me that Matthew Stafford doesn't practice. Not that I don't think he's going to be fine, because I think he will, but when you have a critical new receiver and you're not getting reps, those things matter. They do, Dan. That's why we have an off-season program. And I just think Jordan Love having an additional weapon that he hasn't had will make everybody else around him better.
Can I timidly raise my hand here from the center here, from the greeny seat? We haven't mentioned Dak Prescott's name?
Dak's gonna have a good season.
Is he in this conversation?
Yeah, of course he is. He's very much so.
2 years ago, he's runner-up for MVP.
Yeah,
but the way Mike T has presented it, I think it puts Dak more in the conversation than it does based on what we saw last year, because he was injured. If you're telling me that we're going to rank Dak Prescott at the end of this season and you're going to have Jake Ferguson and George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb healthy and a better run game, then absolutely Dak Prescott is going to end up being on this list and have one of those years.
Then who would you take out, though?
That's the question.
But that's my point. I've said this for 2 years. Stop going top 5 and top 10.
No, we have to. It makes great TV.
No, because there's too many good 16?
Ones. Do you want top
there's too many
14?
good ones. There's too many
but
good
I'm saying
ones.
if Dak and Stafford play well, who are you taking out?
I'm not taking anybody
You don't know. Listen, maybe they all play really well and Dak plays well too, and he's still number 6. But I think the point is to put Jordan Love at number 1 is almost prophetic. Right? You have to be able to see something that you actually haven't seen, because this isn't something you're going to cut the film on and compare him to those 4 other guys and Matthew Stafford and say you've already seen the evidence that he belongs.
And I'll say this: if he is at 1, like if this is a prediction, and
they won the Super Bowl.
100%.
All right, let me ask you a different way.
I like this.
Let's throw out Jayden Daniels.
Let's go.
All right, if the 4 of you guys were on the clock and you couldn't take Jayden Daniels and you're drafting a player today